Have you heard of Leonardo da Vinci? Who was he? Leonardo wasn't just a brilliant artist. He was a true genius, a master across many fields. His artwork, like Mona Lisa and The Last Supper, became iconic masterpieces. But Da Vinci's genius extended far beyond art. He was deeply knowledgeable in areas like botany, anatomy, and military engineering. Because of his vast expertise, he is often called a Renaissance polymath, someone with not only mastery in one field, but deep insights into nearly every subject. Several of Leonardo's other works, such as St. John the Baptist, Madonna of the Rocks, and Salvator Mundi, are celebrated as masterpieces. While he received acclaim and admiration for his work, he was also surrounded by mystery and controversy. His notebooks, filled with detailed sketches and studies, are as treasured as his paintings. In these sketches, he captured the world with such realism that viewers often feel as if his drawings, whether of horses, faces, flowers, or even a fetus in the womb, might come to life. Leonardo's thinking was far ahead of his time, and he envisioned inventions like the parachute, helicopter, and machine gun, leaving behind sketches that foreshadowed these modern marvels. Yet, did you know Leonardo was born out of wedlock? His father was an aspiring lawyer, and his mother was a humble peasant girl. Because illegitimate children in those times were restricted from pursuing professional careers, Leonardo couldn't follow in his father's footsteps. Instead, he paved his own path, becoming one of the world's greatest artists and thinkers. This book introduces 6 principles that can help you develop multiple skills and think like Leonardo. It encourages you to break free from single-discipline knowledge and cultivate a mindset that's always curious and eager to learn. Since Leonardo was Italian, author Michael Gelb has used Italian terms to explain these principles. Here are Leonardo's 6 principles. Curiosità, a relentless curiosity. Dimostrazione, learning from experience. Sensazione, making the most of all 5 senses. Sfumato, embracing ambiguity. Arte scienza, balancing art and logic. And corporalità, physical fitness. Let's dive into each of these principles in detail. Sfumato. The term sfumato means to evaporate like smoke or to fade into a blur. In Leonardo's unique painting style, this concept is evident, adding depth and mystery to his work. Take, for example, the enigmatic Mona Lisa. If you look it up, you'll see a painting with a mysterious allure. For centuries, people have wondered about her elusive smile, yet no one has fully deciphered the emotion behind it. The smile seems to convey layers of emotions: goodness and darkness, seduction and innocence, kindness and cruelty, all at once. What message was Leonardo trying to communicate through this ambiguity? One intriguing detail about this painting is that the corners of Mona Lisa's mouth and eyes are softly shaded, creating that captivating, ambiguous smile. The faint shadows obscure definitive expressions, leaving viewers to guess at her true feelings. Leonardo's intention here was to craft a puzzle, leaving the interpretation up to the observer. This brings us to the principle of sfumato, which teaches us not to rush to conclusions or judgments. Situations often have multiple facets, and only by viewing them from various angles can we truly understand their complexity. Embracing ambiguity helps us become more discerning, sharpening our minds, and building intelligence. Leonardo's ability to approach things from different perspectives may well be what enabled him to envision so many groundbreaking inventions. For years, art experts and psychologists have speculated about Mona Lisa's true identity. Was she a real person or just a figment of Leonardo's imagination? Some suggest she was Lisa del Giocondo, the wife of a wealthy silk merchant. Others believe the painting represents all the women Leonardo encountered in his life, from noble mistresses to common women he saw in passing. However, Dr. Lillian Schwartz from Bell Labs offered a fascinating perspective, proposing that Mona Lisa might actually be a self-portrait of Leonardo himself. Using precise measurements and computer modeling, she compared the Mona Lisa with Leonardo's only confirmed self-portrait, sketched in red chalk, which depicts him with flowing hair, strong eyebrows, and the wrinkles of age. Remarkably, Dr. Schwartz found that the features, forehead, eyes, nose, and lips, aligned almost perfectly, as if they were two sides of the same face. Leonardo's unconventional approach didn't always sit well with the Catholic Church, which favored artists like Michelangelo and Bernini. Unlike them, Leonardo often reinterpreted biblical scenes through his own lens. For instance, there are two versions of his Madonna of the Rocks and Virgin and Child with Saint Anne. One displaying a striking, almost shocking depiction, and the other softer, more traditional. Leonardo was deliberate with every aspect of his work, from facial expressions to body posture, often embedding hidden messages for the perceptive viewer. Perhaps we'll never truly know the mysteries behind Leonardo's work, whether in The Last Supper or St. John the Baptist. His art invites us to interpret its beauty and secrecy in our own way, embodying the essence of sfumato, to explore and embrace the unknown. Curiosità. From a young age, Leonardo da Vinci had an insatiable curiosity about the world around him. He would often wander into forests with paper and pencil in hand, ready to sketch anything that caught his attention. He could spend hours observing trees, flowers, and leaves, marveling at their details. Leonardo was constantly jotting down his thoughts in a notebook, asking himself questions like, how many types of animals, flowers, and rivers exist in this world? How do birds fly? Why does water swirl in circles when it hits a rock? His mind was always buzzing with questions that drove him to explore and understand. When Leonardo sketched a flower, he would draw it from 3 different angles, captivated by its beauty and structure. Bird flight fascinated him as well, and he would study the way birds flap their wings, capturing these movements in his drawings. Unlike other artists, Leonardo wasn't focused solely on capturing human beauty, especially that of women. He worked for a range of patrons, including the church, but his true inspiration came from nature, beauty, and truth. His art was a dedication to these elements, rather than a focus on societal norms of beauty. In his notes, Leonardo left tips for refining one's work, emphasizing the importance of reflection. He believed that people are quick to spot flaws in others' work, so to better understand what could be improved in one's own work, one should view it in a mirror. This technique allowed him to evaluate his art from a fresh perspective, making it easier to spot areas for enhancement. Leonardo also advocated for taking short breaks during work. He advised artists to step away from their work occasionally and find a moment of rest. This brief separation helps you return to the task with a refreshed outlook, often making it easier to continue and complete the work. Another technique Leonardo recommended was viewing a painting from a distance. Observing it from afar offers a better understanding of its colors and shapes. Leonardo himself would walk the streets of Florence, carefully observing the beauty of nature and the expressions on people's faces. He was especially moved by the sight of caged birds being sold by merchants. On many occasions, he would buy these birds and set them free, watching them soar into the sky with a sense of wonder and delight. Seeing the birds flap their wings in the sunlight, embraced by the breeze, brought him immense joy. The principle of Curiosità teaches us to maintain a constant desire for knowledge. This curiosity generates questions that inspire us to seek answers, sharpening our minds and enhancing our ability to notice details. Nature, Leonardo believed, was the greatest teacher, and he observed it with unwavering attention, knowing it held the secrets to endless learning. Dimostrazione. Leonardo da Vinci didn't have a formal education as a child, but his learning truly began when he became an apprentice to master painter and sculptor Andrea del Verrocchio. In Verrocchio's studio, Leonardo learned essential skills like mixing colors and preparing canvases. Verrocchio was a firm believer in learning through experience and taught Leonardo the art of bronze casting, sculpture, and the study of plants, animals, and the human body. This hands-on training laid the foundation for Leonardo's expertise. His first painting was a small contribution to Verrocchio's Baptism of Christ, where he created an angel in the lower left corner. Art experts once used X-rays to examine this painting closely and observed a fascinating detail. While Verrocchio's brushstrokes were visible and textured, Leonardo's were so fine and smooth that the X-rays passed right through them. His technique was so delicate, it was as if he had conjured a real angel rather than merely painting one. With his training complete, Leonardo joined a guild of artists and doctors called St. Luke, a group dedicated to advancing knowledge in anatomy and art. His anatomical studies were intensive. He dissected around 30 human bodies and countless animals, meticulously sketching every part in his notebooks. This deep understanding of human and animal anatomy is why his depictions of the physical form were so accurate. Leonardo was a proponent of learning by testing and direct experience. He believed one should not rely solely on hearsay, but should instead experiment and foster independent thinking. For him, nature was the greatest teacher, and he urged others to observe the world carefully to learn from it. Interestingly, at age 42, Leonardo taught himself Latin so he could read classical texts and deepen his understanding of subjects like medicine, mathematics, and military science. He once wrote, "Experience never errs. It is only your judgments that may err by expecting results that experience cannot provide." He also remarked, "Obstacles cannot bend me. Every barrier crumbles with firm resolve and dedication." Leonardo's love for experimentation drove him to attempt countless inventions, many of which didn't succeed, yet failure never deterred him from trying again. This relentless drive was key to his many breakthroughs. Sensazione. Leonardo placed tremendous value on the five senses, believing they were essential for enhancing brain power and learning. Sensazione emphasizes the importance of observing every detail, sharpening focus, and enriching intelligence. Using the senses fully means listening carefully, savoring food completely, and noticing the intricate details around us. Leonardo's life reflected this principle. He keenly observed his surroundings, the mountains, waterfalls, animals, and expressions of people. He paid attention to the beauty in his environment, wearing the finest clothes he could afford, and filling his studio with flowers and fragrant perfumes. He enjoyed small portions of beautifully presented, healthy food, relishing every bite. Many may not know that Leonardo was also a musician, skilled in playing instruments like the harp and flute. When Ludovico Sforza of Milan employed him, Leonardo crafted a silver lyre shaped like a horse's head, which he gifted to his new patron. Leonardo believed it was a pity that most people neglected their senses. He noticed that people often ate only to fill their stomachs, spoke without thought, and listened without truly feeling. He would ask, "When was the last time you admired the beauty of the moon and stars? When did you last savor your meal without rushing?" Nature gave us sensory organs to experience life deeply, yet many take them for granted. We have become so busy that we merely exist, not truly live. If you want to experience life in its truest sense, Leonardo encourages us to engage all of our senses and enjoy every moment fully, discovering life's beauty in its finest details. Arte Scienza. Leonardo da Vinci was left-handed, suggesting that his right brain, the center of creativity and imagination, was highly active. Yet, he was not just an artist, he was also a scientist with a keen analytical mind. One of his unique habits was his practice of mirror writing, writing his notes in reverse. Some psychologists speculate about the deeper meaning behind this, but it's likely he found it more comfortable due to his left-handedness. In 1994, Bill Gates purchased 18 pages from Leonardo's notebook for $30 million, a testament to the enduring value of his observations. Science has shown that the brain's left side handles logic and reasoning, while the right side drives imagination and creativity. But Leonardo believed that art and science are inseparable, each enriching the other. His close observations of the human body, flowing water, and plants served as sources of inspiration for his art. He even used precise mathematical measurements to create the outlines for his paintings and sculptures, emphasizing the use of the whole brain in creative thinking. Leonardo once said that artists who create without applying scientific principles are like sailors navigating without a compass. They may never reach their destination. He was convinced that an artist must study the human structure to capture true beauty on canvas. Without this knowledge, a painter could only create lifeless images lacking the depth and artistry that bring subjects to life. Leonardo encouraged his students to focus on details, logic, and mathematics while also using their imagination freely. His ability to see the big picture allowed him to create remarkably accurate maps without modern technology. As he famously advised, study the science of art and the art of science. Leonardo remains one of the few masters who left behind a wealth of inventions, sketches, and notes valued today as much as in his own time. Corporalita. In addition to his art, Leonardo's notebooks reveal his thoughts on health and physical fitness. which he considered essential to a sharp mind. He included puzzles, jokes, and practical tips for maintaining a healthy lifestyle, believing that good physical health supports mental fitness. Giorgio Vasari, a biographer of famous artists, noted that Leonardo was skilled at horseback riding and also practiced swimming and fencing to keep fit. These activities made him physically strong, energetic, and resilient. Leonardo's notebooks contain simple yet profound health tips. He advised staying away from anger and sadness, keeping the mind joyful, and exercising daily. He emphasized mindful eating, chewing slowly, eating only when hungry, and opting for lighter meals. Good sleep and a healthy digestive system, he believed, were also essential to well-being. Leonardo was a vegetarian and an accomplished cook, balancing his diet and exercise for optimal health. For him, physical fitness was not just about strength, but about achieving a harmony that benefits both body and mind. Conclusion. The King of France, Francois I, employed Leonardo da Vinci as a painter, architect, and engineer, though they often engaged in deep discussions on philosophy and knowledge. The king provided Leonardo with a luxurious home and a generous salary. Leonardo spent his last days there, passing away at the age of 67. In his final days, he documented his symptoms and left all his belongings to his loyal student, Francesco Melzi. It's said that he shared a profound friendship with the king and took his last breath in the king's arms. While some speculate that Leonardo was homosexual or that his ideas diverged from religious doctrines, one undeniable truth remains. He was a genius. Leonardo dedicated his life to the pursuit of art, science, nature, and beauty, embodying a rare blend of talent and intellect that continues to inspire. In this book, you've learned 6 principles that can help you unlock your body and mind's full potential, just as Leonardo did. 1. Curiosità. Maintain a constant desire to know and learn. The more questions you ask, the deeper your knowledge becomes, leading you to mastery. Keep a journal or notebook to record your ideas, thoughts, and insights, which will help you achieve your goals. 2. Dimostrazione. Don't accept any idea or theory without testing it. Gain your knowledge through experience. Don't fear making mistakes. Treat each failure as an opportunity to learn. Practical experience is often the most effective teacher. 3. Sensazione. Engage all 5 senses fully. Observe things in detail, understanding each element deeply. Be present in every experience. If you're eating, savor every ingredient. If you're touching something, truly feel its texture. This mindfulness heightens your focus and enriches your understanding. 4. Sfumato. Avoid jumping to conclusions. Recognize that every situation has multiple facets and work to understand them all. Embrace a mindset that seeks the reasons behind things instead of rushing to judgment. 5. Arte Scienza. Cultivate a balance between art and science, between logic and imagination. Don't limit your mind's capacity. Instead, embrace both creativity and analytical thinking. Most people tend to favor either the left or right brain, but to achieve true genius, you must learn to use both. 6. Corporalita. Care for both body and mind. They are connected, and physical fitness enhances mental strength. Eat healthy, sleep well, and exercise regularly. as this physical vitality will improve your focus and creativity. How is it possible for one person to have extensive knowledge in fields like art, engineering, botany, mathematics, and beyond? This level of excellence can be achieved by anyone willing to use each minute productively, fuel a desire to learn more, and pursue excellence. Mastering these 6 principles will not only boost your productivity and focus, but may also lead to innovative ideas or creations. Who knows? By applying these principles, you too could be considered a genius someday, with your legacy recorded in history for future generations to admire. Thank you for listening, and let this summary be a step in your own journey toward mastery and self-discovery. Until next time, keep learning, stay curious, and embrace every opportunity to grow.